He says, you are the light of the world. It is impossible for a city to be hidden on a mountain. Nor do they light a lamp and put it under a basket, but on a lampstand, and it shines to all those in the house. Let your light so shine before men so that they see your good works and praise your Father who's in the heavens. Now notice he says this before we get to chapter 6, where he tells you not to be doing things to be seen by men. Remember, he's saying, let your light shine. In other words, don't hide walking this out. The context here is what? Those who are hungry and thirsting for righteousness, who then will be persecuted because of their following of righteousness. So all of this is in that context. And in order to do so, you need to be meek. You need to be poor in spirit. You need to be those who are willing to mourn, to be compassionate, etc. You need to be the peacemaker. This is all part of that same big package. Now, having said all of that, he's still talking about the people that the world would persecute. He's telling them, don't be afraid. Let your light shine before men. Not to be seen by men, but you're doing it openly without shame. That you're not embarrassed. Do you see the difference? Because he's going to clarify this in chapter 6 when he talks about not doing it for the purpose of being seen by men to receive anything from them. He's saying, do it in front of men who are not going to like what you're doing, be seen by your Father. He's talking specifically here, doing things that men won't like. The world won't like. They won't appreciate you doing. But do it without any fear, without any reservation. Just do it before men. Let your light. Okay, the key word there is light. What is the word light always connected to? Yeshua says, okay, well, we know that Yeshua is what? The light of the world. We're told that a light illuminates our path. We're told that the Torah guides us in the path. We're told that Yeshua guides us and leads us. We're told that the Torah, the Word, Yeshua, all these things are the same. The truth. So he says, let your Torah observance, let your belief in Yeshua, let your submission to his authority so shine without fear, because it talked about earlier about being persecuted before men so that they can see your good works. In other words, they're going to see your Torah observance. Let them see you doing things correctly, the good things, the right things, and praise your Father in the heavens. In other words, they should be able to see what you're doing, and who's supposed to get the praise? Your Father in the heavens. In the case in chapter 6 is so that you would get praise. You're doing things before men because you're wanting to receive praise. Here he's saying, do what you're doing so that the Father receives the praise. Very important. So having said all of that stuff, he gets to verse 17. So now we have a context for verse 17. People that are walking in a certain manner, have their heart in a certain manner, have their character in a certain manner, have submitted themselves and have committed themselves to keeping Torah in a public way. Now he says, verse 17, do not think that I came to destroy the Torah of the prophets. Why can't we just stop right there and realize before he says anything else after that, he says, don't you even think, not a single thought, that I came to undermine, destroy, or do away with anything that the Torah prophets said. But based on what he just said prior to this, that makes total sense because he just said, you are going to try to go and hunger and thirst and go after Torah, and you're going to go and try to keep it, and you're going to do it in front of men, and they're going to persecute you, and they're going to mock you, they're going to accuse you of things falsely, they're going to use all kinds of wicked words. He says, so don't think I came to just do away with all that. You're going to have to deal with this stuff. I didn't come to destroy the Torah of the prophets. He says, I didn't come to destroy, but to complete, to bring a more full understanding. By the way, there also is a possible Hebraic idiomatic phrase that goes back to those times, about 2,000 years ago, when somebody was to take Torah and expound on it, to give a drash or an explanation of it, to speak about it. If they did a great job, they were called, hey, you completed that, you fulfilled it, from a Hebraic sort of idiomatic idea. But if they did a lousy job, they said, man, you just destroyed that thing. We still use that kind of a phrase today. Man, you destroyed that. And sometimes when people do great, we say, man, you destroyed it. But usually it's the other way around. It's like, oh boy, you really wrecked that. It was terrible. All right? So he said, look, I didn't come to destroy, but to complete. I came here to give you the right understanding. And by the way, you may think, well, that's a real stretch. Well, what does he go ahead and do after saying that? Immediately, we see by the time we get to verse 20, 21, 22, he starts taking Torah and expounding on it, trying to explain to you the right way of understanding some of the Torah verses. So he says, I'm about to teach you some Torah, and I came to give you the right understanding. So he says, do not think that I came to destroy the Torah of the prophets